Hello, Mr. Dattani. It's a lovely day to be outside.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're lucky for this good weather. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So today we are talking about Chekhov Express and all
Right.
things related to it.
Ah.
I was wondering if you can share with us how did the journey of Chekhov Express come about?
I had such a wonderful time doing Chakte Chekhov. That's when we decided to take some of Chekhov's short stories, Anton Chekhov's stories, and dramatize them and transpose them to India. So I suggested to Barkha that we do Chekhov Part 2. And she was excited because, he's written hundreds of short stories and some of them are real little gems. And I started reading, and the short story that inspired this was The Malefactor, which we have transposed to Chor Kisko Bolta Hai. That is set in a rural area where farmers steal nuts for fishing, nuts off the railway tracks. Now, in Chekhov's time, the Trans-Siberian Railway had just begun to expand, and Chekhov had mixed views on modern technology and how it would change people's lives, not all for the better. So I thought what a wonderful idea it would be to transpose this to Indian railways of the 50s and 60s post-independence and post-partition, because as you well know, I think it's the 6th or 7th largest railway network in the world. The Trans-Siberian Railway is, I think, number 1 or number 2, I don't know. So I thought that's a fabulous setting. And it was quite a coincidence that Aditya Date, who was my co-writer, adapter, had the same idea and suggested, why don't we set the stories in railway stations. So that's really how it came about, and it's been very exciting to have these 7 stories all set in, in and around Indian railway stations.
What has been the most challenging part about, envisioning a script such as this and then training your actors to do what they are supposed to do to bring that vision to life?
Well, I think the challenging part and the beautiful part is doing ensemble work, because the railscape, for want of a better word, comes alive with the way the ensemble works together. Getting people to work together is always fun, and it has its challenges, especially when the actors have day jobs and they're coming straight from work, so they may not have enough time to do their homework. But I think every member of the cast has put in time, effort, energy into working together as a team. It may not be as easy as it looks, because you just need an expanded sense of awareness to do that, and every member has been sort of pushing the bar up personally to make this happen. So I think for me that's very exciting.
Chekhov Express is going to be featured as the grand production, which is part of the ICS Theatre Fest. What are your thoughts about ICS Theatre, its anniversary, and the festival that Chekhov Express is going to premiere in?
I think, first of all, I'm very proud to be associated with ICS Theatre for 4 years of its 5 years of, being in existence. And this is wonderful that this is the 5th anniversary and it's a grand celebration. And Barkha has put in sections of various plays, so the audience gets to see vignettes of past ICS theatre productions, and I'm very happy that that would include 3 of my plays that I have directed and plays that Dr. Farley Richmond has directed. I think it's a great idea and a wonderful way of celebrating all the hard work and creativity which has gone into making ICS Theatre a company that is really well known in this part of the world.
Which is your favorite story of Chekhov Express?
My favorite story, well, that's like asking a mother, which is her favorite child. I like them all, but I think Each one has its merits. I mean, if you look at even a frivolous story like A Country Cottage, or if you look at something a little bit more profound like Misery, I think they just stand out because they're so unique and so beautiful. I think it's hard for me to say which is my favorite, but I'm sure the audiences will have their favorite as well. So it'll be interesting to see which one the audiences like the most.
What was the most challenging thing about finalizing or picking up these 8 stories?
Well, once I had the theme in mind that what's connecting all these stories is a railway, a train or a railway station, it was easy to pick some of them because they are set, in a railway compartment or on a station. And there's some stories that I like very much, which then required a little bit of tweaking. So setting it in a railway station immediately sort of, eliminated quite a few stories.
What would you like for the audience to take away as they watch Chekhov Express, as they are part of the ICS Theatre Fest and as they are driving home?
Well, I hope the two things they can take away, the nostalgia of a train journey for many Indians that resonates with us. And number 2 is that how universal and timeless Chekhov's writing is, because he deals with human sentiments and emotions and has a very compassionate view of people. So it's that humanity that is in his writing which just shines through, and I think that's a good takeaway as
Excellent.
well. There's humor, there's drama, there's pathos. It's got all of it. Yeah.
Should we go to the rapid fire section then, Mr. Dattani?
Okay.
So these are very quick 1-word or 1-sentence answers as you
Okay.
deem fit. I'm going to take my chance and ask you this. Which is your favorite story out of Chekhov Express?
They're all my favorites. Okay, I like Misery. Yeah.
Okay. Who in the cast is most like their character on stage?
Well, I think Gayatri Desai, who plays Cow. Sorry.
Okay. Who is the funniest cast in the character?
Well, I think Bharat is quite funny when he plays the inspector. Yeah.
And who is the funniest in real life? Who is the funniest cast member in real life?
Oh, I think Khagesh wins hands down. Yeah.
If there were a movie to be made about your life, who do you think should play your part?
Oh, Hrithik Roshan. Can't you see the resemblance?
And what should it be called?
Should be called the highs and lows of being a theatre director or playwright.
Okay. Apart from Chekhov Express, and we won't talk about that right now, which one is your favorite play
In general?
in general?
Oh, I have so many. I think I love Doll's House, and I like A Doll's House Part 2 as well, which I saw on Broadway last year.
Right.
Thank
Any
you,
last
Gayatri.
final words for our audience?
Well, like I said, come fall in love with Chekhov and come fall in love with India.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Dattani.
Thank you.